You are an atheist, and I am a believer in God. But how can either of us be sure? She stared at the floor for a moment and then gazed into his handsome face. The world is constantly changing, and we don't know who to believe. I thought that I had everything figured out. She thought of the pretty girlfriend of her husband, who smiled sweetly as she passed Liberty on the way out of the church. It isn't often that I get the opportunity to review works of fiction, much less a romance novel. And so when I had the chance to read and review Liberty, Romance Out of a Clear Blue Sky, I jumped at the chance. Without spoiling the whole story, I'll just give you a preview. This is a book about two lovers coming from seemingly opposite backgrounds. One is a young, recently divorced Christian struggling with the implications of leaving her unfaithful ex-husband. The other is an older, intelligent, self-assured atheist beginning to confront his own mortality. Where they meet and discover mutual interest, aside from their attraction for one another, is particularly interesting. They have numerous conversations about scientific discovery and in particular debates concerning the origin of life. How will they find common ground given their own spiritual viewpoints? Who will compromise first? Or is it even necessary for compromise to happen at all? When so-called Christian love fails, is it okay to give a secular partner a chance? Is the meeting of these lovers random, or could it be divinely inspired? All of these are questions you'll have to read the book to find out. But for myself, I was struck by the connections the author made between two things, pain and knowledge. How much of our objections to God are based on pain, His allowance of bad things to happen? When life goes a different direction than what we planned, do we hide our anger or disappointment in self-assured knowledge? Can our relational confusions ever correlate to the intellectual beliefs we hold? At the same time, even if you're not sold on the style of the book, this story raises interesting conversations about creation, evolution, and the arithmetic of it all. A good intro for those not particularly attracted to a dry, science-only book. Liberty, Romance Out of a Clear Blue Sky, shows us that you can tackle such subjects in the context of a fictional romance. And when you think about that romance, one that's born out of two people discovering the faith to start over after painful episodes, and then you think about your own life, maybe it's not so fictional after all.